All right, we are back in the Montana garage, continuing to prep for Big Sky Race Week. I got my list over here, and well, I did a couple things. Let's see if we can cross anything off. No, we did that. I'm not gonna do that yet. I guess that's all I did. I put the other tires on, but taller street tires for the rear, sounds like that's not happening because I don't want to put like truck tires on it, so. Anyways, I have something new. It kind of falls under this camping gear. We are going to prep trailer for tent. And that's what we're doing this video. All right, my son has a little Toyota Tacoma, and he's kind of an outdoorsy hunter, fisher, camper kind of dude. So he's got this here Free Spirit kind of rooftop tent deal that he has on his truck, and he just took it off because he's driving back and forth for work to Big Sky, same place I'm working, so it's like an hour each way, and apparently it makes a big difference on gas mileage. So he took that off. He's not using it anytime soon, so I'm going to try to use it. Me and my dad's going to Big Sky Race with me again. We're going to try to put this on my little drag and drive trailer. So that's today's project. And you know, if you've been around here long enough, you know that today's project is, you know, this week's project. I'm not going to get it done today, I'm sure, but that's what we're starting on. So I got to dig the little trailer out from behind the shed or behind the shop, and I got this little thing on here. I've been doing some, you know, head scratching, figuring out if I can make this work, and by golly, I think I can make it work. So let's drag this out around to the shop and get set up and see if we can do some fabricating. Let's see, what are we doing with the gate? We'll go this way far enough. Stay. This little thing's heavier than it might look. How you guys doing back there? Looks a little bumpy. I'm assuming you're not going to make it for the ride. Maybe you will. Probably just looking at the sky anyways. Let's see, what are we going, forward or backward? Let's go backward. I gotta get in shape. Big bump. And we're home. Why was that so hard? Yeah, because I'm old and fat and out of shape. Well, we brought some foliage with us. Get rid of that. All right, I'm going to catch my breath, and I'll tell you my plan. It's probably not a very good one. I was just discussing the plan with Moose, and he thinks it's going to work. Right, Moose? Don't ignore me. Is it going to work or not going to work? All right, so here's the plan. We got this here mount rack system that came with Trey's tent, and I got a little fancy tailgate type situation back there that I don't really need. I don't need to put this up and down when I'm using the drag and drive trailer. So I'm going to leave this up. That's going to be the rear mount. That makes it high enough that I can still get all my tires and junk in here. And then I'm going to build a frame right here, a crossbar up and over and around to mount this guy on. And then this toolbox, I can't do it with one hand, but if I put you guys right there, the lid will still open like, I don't know, 3/4 of the way. Like it'll open big enough to get in there. I'll have to find a way to hold it open because it won't open all the way to latch. So that's the theory. And I mean, this is designed to hold it. And if I make that strong enough, it should all work, right? So I got to do first thing we got to do, I guess, is level the trailer so I can figure out how to make that level and then take some measurements to figure out how I'm going to make my little crossbar there. Step numero uno, we got the drag and drive trailer level. I got my fancy 4-foot level here. Well, I don't know how fancy it is. It used to be fancy. This is what happens to your level if you're a tile guy for a few years. It eventually looks like a thin set stick instead of a level. Anyways, this one's been retired for a while. It still reads good. It's just hard to see the bubbles and whatnot. There's no real place to put a long 4-foot level. The only other one I have is my little torpedo level. So we're level at the tongue. It's actually pretty level at the toolbox. So we'll call that goodish and go from there. So now I'm gonna get our bar that fell down set back up there and then find a way to hold it level so I can figure out how tall to make this post. Let's see, that's gonna go somewhere around that beam. And then how am I gonna figure this out? How tall do we need to go? Somewhere's in Naresville. Don't have my tape measure on me, of course. Roughly, let's find something to stack it on or jack it up with. 11 plus inches. Any chance this will get us somewhere close at some point? Somewhere close, maybe one more? Too high or too low? Pick your poison. So we need to be a smidge higher than that. Gotta figure the left and right out again, but it's somewhere just to the left of that beam. Something weird. That's 11 1/8. Just go. Still not enough like that. 11 1/4. Still gotta go up a smidge, so we're gonna call it 11. We'll call it 11 1/2 above top of the toolbox. 20 1/2, 32 inches, right? Something like that. So I did a little figuring, and I think I need a piece 32 inches long for the side posts or supports or whatever we're gonna call those. Trying to get some safety gear here, really just earplugs and I say safety glasses, but I'm just gonna put my old man glasses on. Probably should put a mask on or something. I'm gonna cut this. When I bought my TIG welder, I bought one of these Evolution cold cut saws. I don't know if you've used one of these or not, but before I just had the old, I think I still have it, just the abrasive disc saw, you know, like, so it's a big death wheel basically. I don't know, it's in the pile somewhere. And those, I don't think those work that great. They make a ton of sparks and the blade wanders all over. This thing I've only used a couple times, but it works pretty slick. Let me see, oh. Sorry about that. Did you hurt your nose? Need my little fancy dancy stand. All right, let's try to cut this. And this might be the first time I've tried to cut something at a 45. So I'm gonna 45 where the posts meet, you know, like magic, and weld them together, and we'll see how that's gonna work. It's not really magic, just the way to do it, I guess. Watch your ears. My fancy dancy, obviously not so fancy dancy leveling trick fell, so now that it's turned just a hair. I can't imagine I'm gonna be that precise that it's gonna matter. So let's check it out. All right, makes a pretty nice cut. Obviously we got a little deburn and stuff to do before we put them together. But if you're interested in one of these, I'll put a link in the description. I have an affiliate account at Summit Racing now. If you watch my channel, I know there's other places to buy stuff, but I buy a lot of stuff from Summit here, and I've always been happy with their customer service, and the stuff gets here fast. I have 2 boxes that just showed up today from Summit. We'll open those later, drag and drive stuff. But yeah, link in the description if you want to try one of these saws. Don't quote me, I think it's around 300 bucks. Just cuts quieter, cold, and also like, it's weird. I could have touched this right when I was done cutting it, and it's not hot. It's warm, but not hot. So it doesn't like make up all the sparks and all the noise. It makes a lot of metal chips, but works a lot better than the regular abrasive grinding disc saw. All right, I'm gonna cut this a few more times and see if we can figure out how to make our frame. All right, so I got a couple more pieces cut, both the posts and their miters. And I cut one side of the crossbar, but it's hard for me to tell exactly how long it's gonna be. The toolbox is kind of, I don't know, it's level, but the sides aren't plumb, I guess. And so I want to put these posts on here before I measure the crossbar. And then I realized, so I figured out kind of where I'm going to bolt them to the toolbox. Then I marked my holes and I realized, well, shoot, I need to mark my holes on my post, and then I'll drill the holes on the post and then, shoot the hole through the toolbox after I hold it in place. And then I realized I didn't stop and grab any fasteners. So I'm going to run to the hardware store real quick before they close and grab all the fasteners I need to bolt all this stuff together. Then we'll come back and keep plugging away. All right, back from the hardware store. I actually had to go twice because I got all the way there and I didn't have my wallet or any way to pay for anything. So luckily it's not too far. Anyways, here's I came back, drilled my holes, temporarily screwed in the things, the post, made my last miter cut, snuck up on it. And so I think nothing's welded together. This is just sitting here, but this is kind of the concept I'm going for. So Mrs. Montana Garage just yelled that she had some dinner ready. So I'm going to go in and eat something. And then hopefully I'll make it back out tonight to do some TIG welding. If not, I guess we'll do it tomorrow. So I think this is going to work, right? Should, right? Hopefully it's just not, I don't know how much, it's not super heavy as far as just towing weight, and everything. But I think this bar I'm building is plenty strong to support it. And then the tent has good bracing, for the people in it. And then hopefully this will support me and my dad sleeping up there. So anyways, we'll find out soon enough, I guess. We're back. It is late the next night. I got the frame kind of cut and made, and then we tacked it together when it was still on the trailer. I cut them at perfectly 45s, but they're just a tad bit off kilter because I had to space the posts out just a hair so the lid would still open on the toolbox. So they're very, very close to like an exact 45, but I tacked them while they were on the trailer, so I kind of had them how I wanted them. They'll probably move around a little bit once I weld them, but hopefully they'll be close enough, which is what we're always going for out here in the Montana Garage. So I'm going to get set back up and try to get these burned in tonight. I did, because I'm new to this TIG welding thing, sure it's not too hot, I did a little bit of a practice piece and I don't know, stuck it together. So we'll try to do that with the main thing, and that's probably what I'm going to get done tonight. It's already like after 10:30. I had a busy day, but I want to get this done, and then tomorrow we'll get the trailer back in and get the rest of the tent braces and everything all mounted up, and hopefully I can get it on there, get it all working and how I want it, and then take it back apart and paint it, and we can be kind of done with this operation, find a drag and drive home project. So let me get the camera set up. We'll try to TIG weld this real quick. It won't be real quick, but I'll TIG weld it, or try to, and we'll see what's next.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds.
Alright, done with the welding, and as you saw, I brought the trailer back in here. Welds didn't turn out too bad. I had to cheat and kind of do a second pass on a couple of them. I have a hard time blending the corners, like getting the torch and going around the corner is I need to work on that for sure. But anyways, I think they turned out all right. The thing I'm a little bit disappointed in, I haven't even put any weight up here yet. I mean, these things don't weigh anything. And I don't know if it's from welding or if the tube was bent and I didn't notice it, but it has already a little bit of a downward sag in it. And like I say, I don't know if that's from welding and the heat caused that, or if it was already bent. And if it was already bent, I wish I would have noticed. Obviously, I would have flipped the sag up. Or, then it would have been arch instead of a sag. I don't know, but I mean, it's a 1/4 by 1/4 square tube, 0.083 wall. According to AI, and it can hold over 1,000 pounds with an evenly distributed load at this span. We're not gonna have anything near that, so I guess it should be fine. I just wish it didn't have that like visible sag in it. But I thought about putting some gussets in the corners, but I really only have like 1 inch because then it affects how far the lid is going to open. So there's really nothing else I can do but finish putting it together and then just, I guess, see if it gives me a warm fuzzy feeling that it's safe and strong enough, or if it doesn't, then we'll come up with a different plan or ditch the whole drag and drive hotel and stay at a real hotel. Anyways, it's late. calling it a day. We'll come back tomorrow's Saturday, so I should have some time tomorrow. I should work, but I'm gonna skip work, and I gotta get ready for the drag and drive. So we'll be back in the morning to finish this up, hopefully. Came out this morning and drilled a couple more holes for the rails to fit on top. And then obviously I took the bar back off and sanded it, and we're gonna throw a little paint on it. We'll have to let that set, obviously, and then we will throw the tent up there, and I'll have to, I think I have the rails centered. That's what I drilled these front holes, but I didn't drill the back ones in case I gotta tweak it a little bit. So we're getting pretty close to finding out if Operation Drag and Drive Hotel is gonna work out. A little etch primer. All right, I tried being patient as long as I can try to be patient. I think it's, it's dry to the touch. I'm sure I'm gonna scratch it all up. I should have probably made it a little wider and then just forced it in to get it around the toolbox. I gotta kind of force it around the toolbox. So you scratch this on the inside, which I guess is no big deal. And I'm gonna scratch the toolbox up for the third time now, I think. But it's just an old race car, doesn't really matter, I guess. Just wanted to paint this black so it pretends like I care, and then, got to protect it from the rain or whatnot. All right, so somehow, or not somehow, I tried to scratch a little R in the right side, but then I sanded it. I didn't check to see if I sanded it off. Looks like I sanded it off. Okay, where was the other one? Inside. Don't mind me while I try to figure out. All right, there's my R. All right, it was a little light with the paint. Right there, we'll hit that again up there. She's a tight fit. Somewhere's close. All right, I'm gonna get this bolted on here, and then let's see if I can get my wife to help me lift the actual tent up on there. Oops, need my washer. One more step in the process is done. Mrs. Montana Garage came out and helped me hoist that bad boy up there. It's definitely couldn't have done it by myself, so I'm glad she's here to help me. It's just sitting up there. I got to tighten it down, and then I still have to drill these holes and bolt it through the back. So I just wanted to make sure I had the spacing right. And then, once I get it all tightened down, I think I got to run into town. Again, there's always, like I said, I've always got something. I know just like everybody else, everybody's busy, I'm busy too. So I got about 20 more minutes and I got to run into town and do some other stuff. Hopefully when I get back tonight, we'll get it all buttoned up and we'll hook it up to the car. And if it's not, it's been pouring down rain all day. If it's not pouring down rain out there, we will fold her out and see how she looks. But yeah, I think this is, nothing's tight yet, but I think that's plenty strong. We got to put, 400 pounds of man in there too still, but it's not much different than how he had it mounted on his car or his truck. And it's still, I don't like that it's pretty high. It's gonna be quite a bit above my car. So I don't know what that's gonna do to fuel mileage and all that. I'm sure it'll be fine, but there's still plenty of room to get my tires and everything in here that I need. So yeah. Hotel Drag and Drive, almost complete. Once again, it is the next day. I did come back out last night. I don't remember where I left off, but I got the tent. Did I have it up there? I don't remember. I got it up there and I got it all bolted in. I know I didn't have it bolted in because I had to go get more fasteners, but I didn't get long enough ones for the back. So I have it all bolted in, but I just found some random fasteners here in the bolt bin. And I don't know. Some things bother me and some things don't. Like, I don't care that my car's not painted. I don't care that I don't have door panels on it. It's just kind of like what it is. But these like fasteners not matching all the other fasteners, that kind of stuff bothers me. So I had to run to town again this morning for some other stuff. So I got a couple more fasteners. So I'm going to refasten the back brackets here. And then I want to like set it up and see how it's going to work, but it's pouring down rain outside right now, and I don't have room to pop the tent out in here. So I want to get it hooked up to the car and pulled out and flip the tent out and make sure it seems like kind of stable and it's not flopping all over the place. I mean, it should be fine, but anyways, I'm hoping to do that today if it quits raining, but it's supposed to rain all day. So once we get the tent all finally bolted back on for the third or fourth time, we'll talk about what we got going on over here with the electric fan and why we got an electric fan going on. All right, now that I got my fastener situation taken care of and I won't be embarrassed to drive down the highway in this thing. Can you imagine having to drive down the highway with those different fasteners right there? Makes me shiver. All right, I got that taken care of. It's really not that big a deal. I just, for some reason, I wanted to switch them. I got that taken care of. So now I need to figure out or finish this fan situation because, man, I made a heck of a mess because I had to start doing a little wiring last night. So why am I adding this fan? Well, the car has a, what's it called? Cold case radiator. So it's cold case cooled. And let me tell you, that thing works freaking good. That's, it doesn't get hot at all. Well, I can't say at all because otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. The only time I've had any problems with the engine getting a little hot is if I'm stuck in traffic. Last fall, I tried to go over the hill to Billings to a big car show, and it was like 90-some degrees, and we had road construction on the interstate, and it was just sit and idle and, you know, barely crawl forward and sit and idle. And she got hot on me, so I had to pull over and wait and let it cool down. We got back in line, I had to pull over and wait again, so I just turned around and came home. Big Sky Race Week is in July this year. Although it's cool and gloomy right now, it could be pretty hot, so I just didn't want to run into any problems. So I'm adding this electric fan, and I don't know if this is a smart thing to do or a good thing to do or if it's even going to work. But I'm not changing to an electric fan. Like, I still have the original like mechanical fan setup. I don't have room to take that off. Got a nice echo under here. Can you guys hear that? And put an electric fan here without, I mean, obviously I could move the radiator in front of the radiator support and then I'd have room to do whatever I need. But I didn't want to reinvent the whole wheel. For the most part, it works good. So my theory, and you guys, somebody out there can tell me if this is good, bad, or not going to work, or I don't know why it wouldn't work. I'm going to add this. It's a pusher fan. So usually I think the right way or the better way is to have the fan on the back of the radiator and you have a puller fan that pulls the air through. But this is a pusher fan, and I'm not going to have it running all the time. I'm not even wiring it to like a temperature switch. I'm just wiring it to a toggle switch. I am wiring it through a relay. So I think that's better, you know, for the wiring and for the motor and stuff like that, to run through a relay and not just straight off a toggle switch. So I'm working on that, but I'm just going to turn it on and off as like a supplement. Like if I'm sitting in traffic and I'm not moving, this should push some air through there and hopefully help keep it cool. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but that's my theory. That's why I'm doing it. So I started with it last night. I have the relay mounted under the dash. I have a American Auto Wire total brand new wiring harness in this thing. So all the wiring is pretty slick. I actually have, I think in this harness right here, the orange wire coming out of there, it was for an electric fan. I didn't have an electric fan. I just have it coiled up in there. And if I add an electric fan, I could use the wire, right? Well, I decided I didn't really want to, I don't want to undo all my wire wrap or whatever it's called. So I'm not completely done with it. Maybe you guys can't even see. I just added an external wire and I made it black, a little black wire there. And I got to zip tie it a few more times, but that's my fan wire. I already have it coming all the way over here. Got it right there. So I have a black power wire and also a black ground wire. The ground wire is coming over here and it's grounded. And then I tucked the little connection up there. So I got the fan part wired. The relay is up under the dash. And I think all I have left to do, I didn't have a switch. So around this morning, when I bought my fasteners, I bought another toggle switch. I'm going to mount another toggle switch right here next to this guy. I got a hole, so I'll put a toggle switch right there. My relay's up under there, so I still have to, let's see, I have the constant power from fuse box to the relay. Now I need a switched power, or a power that's just on with the key. For that, I'll splice back into the fan wire coming off of the fuse box, so that wire will be fused also. I'll run that over to the relay, and then it's just running a ground through the switch, and that's what will turn it on and off. So I've got a little more wiring to do on that. Should be able to wrap that up here pretty quick. And then, I don't know, I guess then I got to look at the list and see. Hopefully the weather will be nice so we can go play at the tent. I don't know. Let's see what happens. All right, I got one little quick change of plans for my wiring situation. The toggle switch I bought, which is, it just kind of matches the other ones that I have in there. It's got a little light on the end of it, and of course it's not hooked up to anything, you can't see it, but when it's on, there's a little, this one I think is red, a little red light that will come on. And I thought that would be, that's my little like, hey, dumbass, your fan is on warning. Like, so I want the light. I was kind of following this American Auto wiring diagram, and they have the switch hooked up through the ground. And obviously, I mean, they know more about it than I do, and that would work. And that's what I was going to do. But I just realized if I do that, then I just have ground coming into my switch. And I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, I don't think that there's any way that the light would work on this, right? Because basically all I'm doing with the switch is interrupting the ground. So there's just ground coming to it. So there's no way this light would work. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just ground the relay just without a switch, just boom from the whatever that is, 85 terminal to ground on the dash somewhere. And then I'll take this power wire from the ignition switch that's, well, it's coming out of my fuse box, but it's, and like I said, it's the fan wire. It is only hot when the switch is on. So this wire will be, and then I'll put the switch in that line. So the fan will only work, either way the fan was only gonna work when the ignition is turned on. I don't know any reason why I'd want it to work otherwise. I mean, I could run a constant power and then it would work otherwise, but anyways, that's what I'm gonna do. So I can get my toggle switch to light up, we're gonna put the switch on the power side. And in this case, this is the 86 terminal. We'll put the switch right here in this line before the relay, just a solid ground there. And I think that's all we have left to do to wire this bad boy up. Okay, other than having a little bit of a mess to clean up, I think I got the fan all wired. So I haven't turned it on yet. So we're about to find out together if it's gonna work or something's gonna start on fire. So key on, that's just the obnoxiously loud fuel pump. Should have no fan action there, just wanna make sure. No fan action there. So then when we hit the magic switch, a little light should come on the switch, which it did. I think I hear the fan. Oh, I do not hear the fan. All right, strike one, I guess. Back to the drawing board. Okay, it's literally like 3 seconds later. All I did is crawl under there and look and make sure like all the wires are hooked up, and I tried to turn it back on so I could hear if I could see if I could hear like the relay clicking or making any kind of noise, and it works. I don't know why it didn't come on the first time. So key on, switch on. I can hear the fan from here. So yeah, I don't know. She's making some air. Can you feel that? Probably not. All right, I'm gonna, I guess, double check my grounds. We'll figure out why it didn't come on the first time, but hopefully we're good. Well, the bad news is, I don't know if you can see, this is my switch for the fan that I just put in, and this is my switch, well, it used to be my switch for the windshield wipers. I hit it with my elbow when I was down here working. It's the same kind of switch as this, and apparently they are not very strong if you hit them laterally or on the side. So I got to get another new switch. Dang it. A couple hours later, I ran inside to the house and had some lunch after getting the fan working. And I turned on some YouTube. I like to watch Old Man's Garage. You guys like to watch Old Man's Garage? I'm not sure what I like about it. Just, I don't know. Anyways, this is no offense to Old Man's Garage. It's more me than him. But like the last 3 times I was watching that, I fell asleep on the couch. So, my son says that's obviously why I would do that, because he's young kid and doesn't really like that show, I guess. But I really like it, so I don't know why it's putting me to sleep. And I can't. It's me, not Old Man's Garage, and I'm sure many people, well, not that many people watch my YouTube, but the few that do, I'm sure plenty of them have fallen asleep in you know, over the course of the years watching my. In fact, you're probably sleeping right now. Hey, wake up. Anyways, enough of that. It's my fault. I've been burning the candle at both ends, as I say. I'm freaking working late and trying to get this stuff done out here. And oh man, I was out of it. Anywho, I'm awake now, kind of. I got to get this mess cleaned up. It will not quit raining. So I'm probably not going to get to the setting the tent up and hooking it up to the car thing that I wanted to today. Maybe later this evening. I'm going to clean up my mess, and then the next thing I have on the list, let's look at the list. Here's a pen. We can cross at least one thing off, I think. Somewhere. Okay, so we did the tent for the trailer. I guess switch hands. I mean, I don't want to not be able to cross it off, make it look like. Sorry, my camera spazzed out there. Electric fan. We crossed off the electric fan, so we got that done. So the next kind of big thing we're going to talk about and do, well, I'm going to replace the harness on the driver's side. The racing harness is expired. I got one on the shelf over here. I bought it last summer. I just haven't put it in. I'm probably not going to film any of that because it's just I'm going to be laying on the ground, and I think I got to take the seat out. It's just kind of. I've been kind of dreading doing it, but I have to do it. So that's what I'm going to do the rest of today. I may film it if anything comes up, but it probably won't. And then after that, the last main thing I'm going to do is we're going to talk about the shark hide and how it's held up and whether we're going to redo it or I guess I'm planning on redoing the shark hide. If you look at it, it looks pretty good, but if you get close, and we'll do this in the next video, I'll show you there's a few rust spots starting to happen, and I don't really want to let it go to patina. I want to keep it like this, so we're going to do a little work and get her spiffied back up a little bit. We'll do that next time. Hold up, hold on, time out, hold the phone. I'm interrupting from the future because look, the sun is a-shining. I say we take a peek at the new drag and drive trailer with accommodations. Right in the mud hole. Dang it. That looks better. All right, so we got her hooked up. Obviously, I got to load the trailer. This is just tent testage. I wanted to see, I couldn't remember how level it sat. So it does not sit very level. So a couple options. Obviously, I'll be doing a drag and drive, so I'll have my little floor jack here. I'm assuming that I'm going to have this, I'll have to have this hooked up when we're like tenting in it so it has a little more stability. But I'm either going to put a little hitch jack thing on here, or tongue jack, I guess would be called. Or I'll have my floor jack and we can contrary to, I don't know if you follow me on Facebook, but a lot of guys on Facebook don't think I know how to use a jack. Look at my 57 Chevy tire installation post. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I can jack that up a little bit to level it out, or put the hitch jack on there. Tongue jack. All right, so I've never opened this up before. It's my son's, so I got to figure it out. But let me set you guys up somewhere. Oh, and I just haven't showed you guys the long view with the weld wheels on it for a while. Been cruising around a little with the drag tires on. Got to get ready to swap them back off, but all right, let's get this tent set up, see what it looks like. Oh, one other quick thing. Luckily, my wife, I don't think usually watches these, and it's a good thing. Right now it's July 4th, and she's out of town. I stayed home to get ready for the drag and drive, but I was supposed to mow the grass, and as you can see, I haven't quite got to that yet. So the stuff I'm doing is not quite in the order of operations. It should have been mow the grass and then play with cars, but she's not coming home for a few days. We'll get it mowed before she gets here. But if you know her, just help me out and don't let her know, right? Thanks. All right, a lot of this might be fast motion because like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. So anyways, we're gonna unhook some stuff, see what happens. I mean, I've seen my son fold it out before. I think there's just this thing all covered in mud. Well, we're striking out already. Go figure. One problem solved. There's like this cover comes off, and then there's like a ladder thing that folds out, and then just magically there's a tent there. Do I have to unhook that? Guess so. Bam, bam. All right, all corners are loose. All right, now something, hopefully I put it on the right way. All right, we got a little strap action. You can't see it, but trust me, there's a strap right here that I can't get undone. All right, that's undone. I need to lift that. What do I gotta do? put it on the wrong way. Thought that was the driver's front. Apparently not. Or wait, no. Yeah, so it goes that way, but how do I... Learning as I go. We must just pull. You gotta get the whole thing out. Aha, leverage and science and such, I think. All right, somehow that's gotta go back in a little bit. And then let's see, that looks like a foldy downy thing. I'm gonna need some instructions from the boss man. But anyways, hey, there's a tent up there. I'm surprised it just hangs out into the air, but that's what's behind, obviously. This, what do we suppose the deal is with this guy? Got to hook onto something to keep that out. It got longer, I thought. It's a mystery. It was over there, but that don't do nothing. We'll figure that out later. I'm gonna get in this thing and see how stable it might feel. Mattress in here. Somebody out there knows what I'm missing, but I don't know. I mean, seems like it should work. All right, there we have the new and improved drag and drive trailer with accommodations. I figured it out. This thing goes up here, right? There we go. I'm a little slow, but I get it eventually. But I guess that's it for now. So thanks for watching if you're still awake. Even if you're not still awake, thanks for watching until you fell asleep. And then we'll see you on the next one.